How come you can't generate that effortless power like the pros do every single time they serve? In my experience studying alongside the world's #1 tennis biomechanist, as well as working with hundreds of students both online and in person, I've boiled down the secret for you to unlocking that huge force every single time you serve into just 3 common mistakes. Where in this video, we're gonna dive in starting with the 3rd most common mistake and close with the #1 most common mistake, as well as provide you with key step-by-step drills and ways of using video analysis to ensure with that 100% confidence every single time you step on the court, you know you're gonna be developing that world-class technique. So let's jump right in into common mistake number 3. So common mistake number 3, which I'd highly encourage you right now, if you have footage of your serve out, you're gonna be able to determine if you're making this common mistake, which is that when you make contact on your serve, you wanna ensure that your trunk is actually gonna be in a forward flex position. And the common mistake that so many players make is that when they accelerate, rather than transferring their body weight in and having their trunk leaning forward into the court, just like that, they're actually gonna be making contact with their chest upright or slightly leaning back. And the primary challenge of this is just to use a metaphorical analogy. Imagine, and you can even try this right now, go ahead and lean forward and push. You can push on a wall, push on something, and you'll feel that you're gonna get so much more power. Whereas conversely, if you're leaning upright just like this, and you push on something, you're gonna be leaning back. So not only does getting that chest forward allow you to generate so much more easy force, but it's also gonna eliminate tension from the back. So how exactly can we transform this so you are making your contact just like the world's best players when you serve? The primary step-by-step drill that I found to be so effective that I've used to transform so many players' serve is simply this one drill. What I want you to do is you're gonna get into a wider stance than usual, and you're gonna focus on simply just keeping your feet on the ground, starting from your wind-up position, and focus on just shifting your weight forward. Where as we're gonna be shifting our weight forward, we're focused on going from the back foot to the front foot and creating that lateral tilt of the chest, the lateral tilt of the chest. So the trunk can rotate in 3 dimensions. You've got extension, flexion, rotation, and lateral tilt. And what I found to actually create that flexion position where you are able to, boom, just bomb serves, is by actually creating the lateral tilting motion. If we look at the world's best servers, you'll see that when they accelerate from both angles, the primary motion that's occurring isn't rotation, isn't extension flexion, it's actually that lateral tilt action of the trunk. So this drill is gonna turbocharge your ability to execute that on every single serve. So we're gonna get into that wider stance than usual, and you're just gonna focus on feeling, okay, what does it feel like to execute with world-class serve technique? We're gonna go from that back foot to that front foot. You're gonna start in a very laterally tilted position, more so than you usually would, because the world's #1 servers all rotate laterally at a 45-degree angle during their wind-up. We're gonna try and 50 to 60-degree angle. So really feeling it, right? Feeling that tension in that muscle right there. And we're gonna focus on just shifting our weight forward and finishing with our back leg flaring out. So if you're a righty, that's gonna be with your right leg. If you're a lefty, that'd be with your left. And we're just gonna focus on feeling that weight shift. After we start feeling that weight shift, we're gonna go ahead and set up into our serve and just focus on feeling that lateral tilt action. And you're gonna start feeling, whoa, I'm unlocking so much more force. It's starting to feel so much easy. And that's the true breakthrough to that world-class serve. Isn't, let's try to swing hard with my arm. No, let's rather utilize intelligent biomechanics and optimize my kinetic chain by tapping into that lateral trunk tilt and making contact from that side angle with the chest leaning forward at approximately that 45-degree angle. Now we've covered common mistake number 3. Let's dive right in. Common mistake number 2. Let's go. The second most common mistake that's gonna be a game changer for you in terms of how effectively that you're utilizing the bigger muscles of your body to generate that easy force every single time you serve has to do with how high your arm is at contact. So if we pull out all of the world's best servers, Alcaraz, Nadal, Djokovic, you'll see that they all achieve approximately a 10-degree shoulder flexion value with their contact. In other words, you'll see that their arm is essentially almost in a straight line with their shoulders. But see, the common mistake that so many people make is that rather than achieving the lateral tilt value and then slightly raising up the arm, their chest is going to be more upright and their arm is going to be in this heightened position. And the challenge with that is that biomechanically, you actually aren't able to tap into your pec, your shoulder, and your lat when your arm is raised up beyond this threshold. So the key differentiator and the thing that's going to allow you to unlock and transform is your ability to, when you accelerate, rather than raising your arm up, we actually want you to be laterally tilting and only slightly raising your arm up, which is then going to allow you to tap into so much more force from your entire body going into the serve. So here's the exact step-by-step drill that you can immediately implement the next time you step on the court to master this. So the exact way that we're gonna master this checkpoint is by first simply just starting from that perfect contact point. So the key checkpoint here, we're gonna put our arm in a straight line with our shoulders. Then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna slightly elevate the elbow, just a touch. And what we're gonna focus on from here is we're then gonna get our chest in that laterally tilted position of about a 45-degree angle. From here, just slightly raise your racket back through external shoulder rotation. So we should see that the butt of our racket is pointed in a straight line towards that back fence. From there, we're just gonna toss up and fluidly start getting used to what it's like to have this elbow slightly above the line of the shoulders. Just like that, laterally tilting, and then eventually being able to translate that into your full serve. All right, world-class athlete, I'm so fired up for you to already be implementing number 3 and number 2. Let's now close with that number 1 most common mistake that's gonna be a game changer, allowing you to level up your serve and finally experience that effortless force. So this mistake has everything to do with where the wrist is oriented at your contact. If we look at the world's best servers, you'll all see when they make contact, their racket is actually gonna be slightly to the left of their hand if they're a righty, the right of their hand if they're a lefty. And the most common mistake that I've identified with hundreds of players that they're making is when they're gonna make contact, rather than creating this more radially deviated contact position, it's actually gonna be where the racket is above the hand. And what this is doing is it's not allowing you to tap into the maximum amount of power from your shoulder internal rotation. So to get an intuitive understanding of this, let's just use a basic visual demonstration. Notice if I put my racket in this position, really the only way that I can generate forward racket head speed is through the flexion of the wrist. So see how my wrist is flexing? That's creating racket head speed. If I pronate or if I internally rotate my shoulder, I'm not getting any distance. However, let's just implement that one small tweak that the world's best servers do of getting that racket where it's more in line. Another checkpoint is you can see the world's best servers usually make contact with the ball in line with their shoulder to head. So this one small checkpoint, watch, we went from almost no distance to now, whoa, look at all of that force that's being unlocked just by that one small checkpoint. So now that you understand exactly what you should be looking for and exactly why that's important, let's now dive into those step-by-step drills to allow you to transform this every single time and have that confidence knowing you're developing it the next time you step on the court. All right, so that first drill that we're gonna focus on is just like our previous. The most powerful drill is to start just getting an intuitive feel for what that contact position is like. So you can start up inside the court and just feel, okay, my wrist is gonna be more radially deviated. I can see that the face of my racket is approximately in line with that shoulder. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna start from that checkpoint and we're gonna focus on, wow, what does this feel like to make contact from that position? After you get comfortable with that, you can back up a little bit. You can then create more of that external rotation, start adding a little bit more force on your serve, graduating all the way back to the baseline, just focusing on that one key checkpoint, setting up, having courage, in executing your serve, focusing on making sure you're getting that contact more towards the inside of your body. So this final number one most common mistake of that more radially deviated wrist position is so powerful because, like I said, it doesn't only allow you to generate more power from the shoulder, but it also allows you to generate more power from your forearm pronation as well as your lat muscle, and it just unlocks so much more raw potential. And I guarantee, just by focusing and developing and implementing those drills that we covered, it's gonna allow you to create such a higher range and ceiling for how hard you can hit. I've experienced players that have developed this and immediately been able to add anywhere from 5 to 10 miles per hour on their serve. And if you want me to custom review your stroke and provide you with these specific drills custom to your game, you can learn about our membership, the Transformation Program, where I'm gonna be able to work with you one-on-one, analyzing your stroke and telling you exactly what drills to do. So if that is firing you up right now, click that link in the description before this offer expires. All right, world-class athlete, it was my blessing and honor to be your coach in this video. I just want to encourage you that no matter what common mistake that you personally are making, whether it's all three or if it's just one, simply by just showing up on the court, maintaining that positive mindset, believing in your ability that you can develop world-class technique, you just stay consistent with that, you're gonna have that flawless serve. You're gonna be that player at your club that everybody wants to be their doubles partner because you're gonna be bombing your serve. As always, my blessing and honor to be your coach, and I'll see you in the next video. Let's go.